big match for your Liverpool in Champions League. You know, out of all the teams that you probably didn't want to draw, unfortunately, your Liverpool got one of those teams. Probably the toughest team, the champions of Champions League of Europe.
Revancha, papa. Revancha.
So what are your thoughts going into that? Because, I mean, obviously Liverpool's hasn't been in the greatest form for the first half of the season. Seems like they're turning it around. And in my opinion, Liverpool's always a threat in Champions League. It's a different tournament, you know, obviously, but Real Madrid is another story también.
It really is. And obviously, over the last years, Madrid has gotten the better out of us.
Lost in
shut up. I don't
2
want to know.
Champions League. Right? 2 Champions League finals.
And then quarterfinals too. So
which year was that one?
That was like 2021, I believe.
During COVID.
Yeah, during COVID. When Madrid had this whole rebuild of the Bernabeu and it was closed. And we had to play in a shit stadium in a shit field.
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of looked like it was like a training session in a way.
Yeah, as some of our known Madrid supporters and friends would say, Madrid is Papa de Liverpool.
I know, right? And it wasn't like that until after the freaking final of Kiev.
Yeah.
Because before that, I mean, obviously Liverpool had a pretty decent record against Madrid. You know, beating him in the final, in the Champions League final, and obviously Paris también.
Yeah.
Beating them and like with Xabi Alonso, Torres, Gerrard, like that era.
Yep,
we also beat them as well. But anyway, over the last few years, they've gotten the better. So this smells like revancha to me. I think it'll be an exciting matchup. Yeah, of course, you don't want to get a Madrid. Not at this stage, I guess, in the moment. Like, you know, you would probably want to get one of the easier teams like Benfica or, you know, somebody that's not as big as Madrid, for example, right?
Now, beating them would be a huge confidence boost, especially.
Exactly. And that's kind of where I was getting to. But, you know, Liverpool, at least in the Premier League, they haven't been doing as great. They're, like you said, turning it around. But Liverpool is, the Champions League is kind of like,
it's more of their tournament, right?
It's more of their tournament. It's kind of like Madrid in a way, you know?
Milan, yeah. In a sense, yeah.
Like, you know, like they're if I've noticed they've always performed better in European tournaments, competitions than in domestic. You know, like, so I do think it's going to be a great matchup.
Yeah.
I hope by then Liverpool will have some sort of form, like a better form, and like players that have been injured probably start coming back, and you start having a bigger depth, and you know, it kind of rely on, like, I think, and I'm sorry to interrupt you.
You're good.
But I think it's for Champions League, for at least for the second half of the Champions League, after, you know, during the knockout stage, I should say. It kind of depends. Like, for example, the first half is during the, you know, from September to like November or whatever. But during the knockout stage, it's played all the way until February. Yeah. So I think there's a big gap in there for like teams to kind of turn it around. So sometimes you're like, oh yeah, Liverpool haven't been doing well in the Premier League, or they haven't been doing well during the first half of the season. Right. But then once the knockout stage comes, like, oh wow, like Liverpool's in a great form. Right. So things change. I think that's when like things are.
Definitely. Like we're a little less than 2 months away. It's still over a month until that match. So
like we're closer to like 2 months.
Closer to 2 months, yeah. So, I mean, a lot of things can change by then. I mean, even Real Madrid can get a couple key injuries or drop form of some sort.
So, yeah, I think it's going to be, once you get closer to the date, then you'll be able to see, like, okay,
what form
are we feeling confident? Are we not?
Yeah.
I don't know. But I think it's going to be great, though.
Yeah. Are any of the key injuries be back? Will they be back by then for...
I think, I mean, Jota, I think is going to be like long term for sure. Luis Diaz is supposed to be long term. I'm hoping he'll be back, probably maybe second leg.
Yeah.
But I do think like he's going to be at least for a couple months.
Right.
And so I hope at least like in March for the second leg he'll be back.
Yeah. Either way, probably not going to be in form.
Yeah. But at least, you know, you'll have some more depth there, you know. And I hope Cody Gakpo again.
is informed by then, that'd be nice.
He is performing, and he's probably. I'm hoping Cody has the same impact that Jota and Luis Diaz had in Liverpool, like right off the bat, basically.
Oh yeah,
Luis Diaz showed it right off the bat. Like he became basically a starter.
Yeah, he immediately like made a difference on that team. A team that was obviously missing Mane, and then it seemed like for a moment there, Salah was out of form.
Mm-hmm. So I hope Nunez fucking scores.
Yeah,
most of his chances.
We've talked about this, but yeah, Nunez like he didn't get notar los goles. Like that's the one thing he's missing because he can make runs, he can find space. He's not the greatest on the ball, let's say that, but he's got speed, he's got skill.
Look, he can make the runs, he can make the space, he can be there at the right time, at the right during the right pass, the right moment. Like he can be there, he can make those spaces, and he can have like he has the chances, obviously.
Yeah,
because he's missing them, obviously. Yep. But he's creating the chances, or he's creating himself the chances because he's making those runs and going to space and all that stuff. He just needs to put them in.
Yeah, man.
Like, I think out of 10 that he has, he puts one in. It's like, dude, okay, you got to at least the rate. I mean, I think asking him to be like, oh, yeah, put every single ball in the back of the net, like, that's impossible, right? But at least put half of them. Right. I think if he puts half of the freaking chances that he creates, he puts half of them in the back of the net, then Liverpool should have always be kind of in a way like scoring. Like, I don't think they should shut out Liverpool because he does create a lot of chances.
Yeah.
So I hope he's informed by then and we're able to beat Madrid.
Let me ask you this real quick. You said it's early, and obviously it is early. We still have almost 2 months to go, but early prediction. Do they get past Madrid or not?
Yes.
Yes, okay. All right.
Yes,
I'll ask you again here in a few weeks once we do another video, once we get closer. But, okay, there you have it. Memo thinks that they're going to get past Madrid. You're probably going to get a lot of slack for that. But
I'll tell you this. They'll draw a Madrid and they'll win it at Anfield.
They'll draw at Madrid and win it at Anfield. Okay.